Well, many of you have asked what I carry in my camera bags, so here we go. This is more than one can carry onto a plane, so it's how I redistribute my equipment once I've landed. In here I have my biggest lens and body. I have this next size down here with the body. Then I carry all the rest of my lenses here. And then this is just for support systems, chargers, other devices. So let's begin. There's a wide array of lenses going on here. Let's start with the 70 to 200 f2.8 on a camera body, followed up by the 28 to 70 2.8, next in line will be the wide angle 14mm to 24mm 2.8. And then for a very dramatic perspective, there's the 16mm full frame fisheye f2.8. For lower light or shallow depth of field, I have the 50mm f1.4 and its brother, the 85mm f1.4. Then for close-ups, I like to use what I call my bug lens. It is designed to shoot macro work like insects, and whereas most close-up lenses can shoot very, very close, this lens can work at a greater distance and get the same magnification, therefore not chasing the insects away. And then if I really need to get even closer, I have a close-up extension tube. I like to attach this loop to the back of a camera for doing video work, as well as reviewing pictures for editing later, as well as checking focus in live view mode. Another loop I carry is this loop with a light on it that enables me to closely inspect my imaging sensor and lenses as well when cleaning. I carry several of these devices. They're 500 gigabytes at a time, and they're self-contained archival units which are designed to download my photographs from the camera or the SD cards onto these devices without the use of external power or a laptop. If I want to increase the color saturation of birds' feathers and make them look iridescent, or produce a catch light in an animal's eye, or just bring extra clarity to my close-up work, I use a flash. This little device has saved me more than once. It's just a little miniature tripod that can fit on the hood of a car or the roof or a picnic table. Many times my bags have been lost or delayed at airports, and I've had to go on and just for several days use nothing but this little tripod with my biggest lenses. I like to use a cable release so that I'm not handling the camera, making my pictures a whole lot sharper. Reading glasses. I have a cleaning kit here. It's a blower and a brush. Carry a multi-tool, not on the plane, but once I land I put it in the bag. I have a couple of filters. One's polarizer and the other one's a 4-stop neutral density filter. I also have a set of graduated neutral density filters. One of the difficulties in recording from a vehicle is the sounds of people in the vehicle, as well as things like the crackling of the muffler as it shrinks after the engine's turned off. Produces a lot of unnatural noises, so I like to stick this little guy way out to the bush among the animals to record their sounds. Extra lens caps, front, rear and body caps, another lens cap. So let's turn our attention to the other pockets here. I carry extra batteries, battery trays, a lot of extra camera batteries. I also carry pouches that have just things, gadgets, remote control devices to trigger the camera from a long distance away, stop and start video, remote triggers for the flash or flashes. This one carries all my cables for recording, microphone cables, male to male, male to female, just adapters and cables for my audio, and HDMI cables for my video. Always carry business cards, you never know who you'll meet. And this is my backup emergency kit for memory if I have any trouble with my wallet of memory cards. In here I have filters for graduated neutral density filters. I have a magnifier for my Better Beamer flash adapter to magnify the beam of my flash. Camera battery charger, AA and AAA battery charger. This is an LED light that has variable brightness that is wonderful for dealing with daylight fill, both video and stills. And that's about it. Well, now that this is put away, let's turn our attention to the next bag. Because this bag can fit under the seat in front of me on a plane, it is my second carry-on item. This cap has a tail that I attach to my collar, and if the wind blows, it doesn't fly away because it's tethered to me. And I wear it all day, and at night, when I come back at night, I turn the switch on and you can see there's a light there that shines down into my bag, and then I can also make it a headlight as well, so I can see where I'm going in the dark. My cell phone has the ability to store all my instruction manuals, so I carry this with me as well as all my contacts and a portfolio of my work for strangers to go through. I also keep track of every single instruction manual, so if something breaks down, I can review what's wrong while I'm on the go. I also keep a manual, or kind of not a manual, a field guide of all the animals that are out there, so that I can do some quick last second checking if I need to check lifespan, gestation, difference between male and female, things like that. I carry two bags like this. Basically these are just chargers and cables. Some of them are for plugging into various adapters depending which country I'm in, but most of them are for 12-volt systems. And because so many are 12 volt, I just plug this into the main cigarette lighter plug, and then I get an array of 3 more plugs plus 2 USBs for charging. A whole bunch more cables for charging, and this little guy, in addition to being a flashlight, also doubles as a battery booster. It has a USB outlet here, and when I take these cables and for instance put this in series with a device like the backup device for downloading my images from my camera, it'll take the battery life of a download from 2.5 hours to 5.5 hours. And that's critical because if I have a lot of backups and the batteries are running low, there's always a risk of corruption of the download, so that booster really comes in handy. Spare fuses, screwdrivers, Allen wrenches, 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch adapters for tripods. Just a lot of little gadgets in there. This clamp can act as a platform. You can sit on a log or the hood of your car and attach, let's say, a gimbal, or you could open it up, put your window of your vehicle door through that slot there, adjust this to rest on the armrest of the door, put your camera gimbal and system over here, and you can shoot right out the window of a vehicle. Or you could reverse it, have it on the outside of the vehicle so that you have more room inside the vehicle and your camera is mounted on the outside of the door. So if you have, let's say, a flash bracket or something like that that's very tall, it's all on the outside. This is probably a good time for me to bring the tripod. By the way, I have a pad here so that when the whole thing's collapsed with a lens on top of it, it's quite heavy, so when I collapse it and rest it on my shoulder to walk around, that pad saves me from having it cut into my shoulder. This little clamp is quite nifty. It allows you to attach all kinds of things, like if you have a tree branch, you can attach it to the tree branch and then have this articulating arm come out at some angle, and then attach the camera and use it as a kind of remote support. Sometimes you have open vehicles that have those kind of protective roll bars in front of you, so instead of using a tripod you can just attach this to that clamp and clamp this to the roll bar, and you got yourself a nice little gimbal support right in front of you. This is a much larger gimbal for my biggest lens. It can be configured in several different ways. I always level the base with this ball joint here, and by leveling it you're ensuring that as you pan through your picture, let's say for instance chasing a cheetah across the plains, your horizon will always remain level. If this thing's crooked, it may look straight when you first start shooting, but as you progress the horizon will start angling. I have this ability to lock the movement in here, and with a bit of play you'll see why. When I open my case, I do it in one motion and I lift it out in one motion. This way, if I'm in a hurry, I don't have to spend any time yanking or wrestling with my camera trying to get it out. I use very rigid, hard lens caps for extra protection. The next stage in setting up a gimbal is to establish the height so that the lens pivots on this axis, and then I balance it laterally. I also have stops on either side as to protect it from sliding off. So once it's balanced, I release it, and with a single finger I can maneuver a very heavy, large lens. So the last lens I have here to show you is the 200 to 400 f4 VR. Once again, use a heavy duty front lens cap. Once it's balanced, adjust the height. Release it, and it's ready to go. If you'll notice, I have camouflage on this lens. It helps break up the line of the lens so it doesn't look too scary, and also it's padded so that as I'm bouncing around in the vehicle, things hitting it won't damage it. Just in case you're interested, this is the flash bracket, and on top of here will come the flash with a magnifier called the better beamer, and that is great for reducing the angle of view of the flash down to a narrow beam so that I can shoot as far as 150 feet without any problem. Well, I hope this has answered your question about what I carry in my camera bags. Thank you.